There's a box somewhere in your house you haven't opened since a funeral, behind the paint cans in your garage, in a closet at your parents' house. Mixed in with fishing line and old screws, there's a real chance a pocket knife is sitting in it worth more than the car parked outside. Not because it's rare like a painting, because almost nobody who touches it knows what they're holding. You think old means worn out. A cracked handle and a stiff blade get thrown out without a second look because it looks like everything else in the pile. That's exactly why the knives that turned into real money never look like winners. They look like the thing you were already holding over the trash can. Here's what to watch for as we go. A stamp near the handle tells you who made it. The year the company closed tells you how rare it is. And on some brands, small dots on the metal tell you the exact year it was made. Comment below if you've got an old pocket knife in a drawer somewhere right now. Here's the list. Number 10, Ulster Knife Company folders. You've probably picked one of these up before. You saw a name you didn't know. You put it back down. That's 3 seconds you didn't spend, and it's the only thing standing between you and real money. Ulster made knives in New York from the early 1900s until their factory closed in the mid-1970s. A lot of their knives were sold under other store names. So most people don't even know they're holding an Ulster when they are. A clean one with the real Ulster stamp can sell for $200 to $300. Check the tang before you call it junk. Number 9. Winchester pocket knives from the 1920s. You see the word Winchester on a knife. Your brain says rifles, not knives, so you price it like every other old blade in the pile. That's the mistake Winchester was counting on. For about 10 years in the 1920s, they made pocket knives too, using the same trusted name they put on guns. That window closed fast. These knives are rarer than most people think. A real 1920s Winchester trapper knife in good shape sells for 4 figures. That's 3 seconds of doubt you owe it before you put it back. Number 8. Remington bullet shield knives. You take a photo of the whole knife for a listing. You never zoom in on the handle. That's the mistake that cost people money here. Remington made knives from about 1920 to the early 1940s. Their better ones have a small bullet-shaped shield built into the handle, right where your thumb sits. That shield isn't just decoration. It's proof the knife is from Remington's real production years, not a copy made later. A 4-blade Remington with a clean shield has sold for over $2,000. Number 7. Robison Shurridge knives. You scroll right past this one. The name sounds like a hardware store brand, not a collector's item. Robison made knives in New York starting in the early 1900s. Their Shurridge line used a round shield and a special hardening process. That's where the name came from. The company didn't survive past the 1970s under its own name. Clean early ones are the ones worth chasing. A 3-blade Robson in good shape has sold for $800 to $1,200. If the shield is round and it says Robson, don't price it like flea market junk. Number 6. Queen cutlery, especially early Q steel models. This one tricks you because the name feels familiar. Queen made knives in Pennsylvania for most of the 1900s, so you see the name and think common, still being made, not special. You price it at a few dollars without looking closer. But early ones, the ones stamped Q steel instead of the later 440C, come from a smaller batch of steel that doesn't exist anymore. Collectors search for that exact word on the tang. These early ones have sold for $1,300 to $1,800. If you own a Queen and haven't checked the steel stamp, you don't actually know what you have yet. Now here's where this stops being a list of names. This is about the box you're actually going to open. A woman in Vermont works at a Goodwill store. She sorts donations 2 mornings a week. Most of it is normal stuff: old clothes, cracked mugs, a lamp with no shade. One Tuesday, a box comes in from someone's house cleanout. Near the bottom, under some old towels, there's a small shoebox. It rattles like loose change. She opens it. Inside are 11 old pocket knives. They're tangled in old rubber bands, the blades are stuck, the handles are chipped and dull. Store rules are simple: price it, shelve it, move on. She prices the whole box at $4. She puts it on a shelf by the register. The box sits there for 3 months. People pick it up, they look. They put it back down, nobody buys it, she almost throws it out, twice. Then one slow Thursday, a regular customer stops at that shelf. He's not in a hurry. He opens the box and actually looks. He spends 4 full minutes checking each knife. Then he buys the whole box for $4. 3 weeks later, he sells one knife from that box. It has a small shield stamped on the handle. Nobody else had looked at it closely. He sells it for almost $6,000. Nothing about that knife changed in 3 months on that shelf. It wasn't hidden. It sat right there under store lights for $4, no lock, no case. The only thing that changed was one person spending 4 minutes instead of 4 seconds. Sit with that. It changes what you're doing right now, whether you're on your couch or standing over your own box. You're not looking for something rare like a diamond. You're looking for the pause. Every drawer, every flea market table has a moment where your hand is already moving toward the trash. That pause is worth more than any list of names because the list only works if you actually stop and check first. Number 5. Ka-Bar Folding Hunters, made before the company changed hands. Most people know Ka-Bar from military knives, the big fixed blade kind. That's exactly why the folding ones get skipped. Not a fighting knife, not worth much. Wrong. Ka-Bar's early folding hunters, made before the company changed owners and moved production, have a tang stamp collectors can date almost to the year. Clean pre-change examples have sold for over $2,000. These get listed for under $50 by sellers who see hunting knife and stop reading right there. Number 4. Cattaraugus Cutlery Knives. You're holding a knife with a name you've never heard. You're about to price it at a couple bucks. You'd be wrong by $2,000. Cattaraugus closed for good in 1963. Every single knife they ever made has been out of production for over 60 years. No new ones are muddying the water like there are for some other brands on this list. A well-kept Cattaraugus with a clear shield and readable tang has sold for over $2,500. 3 seconds of doubt every time you see that name before it goes anywhere near a yard sale table. Number 3. Schrade knives made before the 2004 factory closure. You see Schrade and think you already know what it's worth. Maybe $15, $20 because Schrade knives still get made today. That instinct is exactly what loses people money here. Schrade's American factory shut down in 2004. Everything made before that closure is truly rare now, even though the same name got used on later imports. The difference is in the tang stamp style before the closure versus after. Not the same knife at all, in a buyer's eyes, even with the same name on the blade. Pre-closure shreds with military or police markings have sold for well over $2,500. These last 3 aren't just valuable. These are the knives that show up in real 6-figure collections. Serious buyers search sold listings for these names every single week. Number 2. Camillus Cutlery Knives, especially any with a USMC or USN stamp. Camillus made knives for the US military for over 100 years before closing in 2007. A knife stamped USMC or USN isn't just old, it's real government history sitting in a drawer. Most people price these like a $2 garage sale item because the knife looks worn, sometimes really worn, and worn looks worthless if you don't know better. It's the opposite. A verified USMC stamped Camillus in honest condition has sold for $3,000 and up. If you see that stamp, you're not holding junk, you're holding a piece of military history that collectors are actively hunting for right now. Number 1. Case XX knives with the dot dating system, made before the company changed hands. Case is the name almost everyone knows. That's exactly why it's number 1 and exactly why it's the most underpriced knife on this whole list. Familiar things get treated carelessly. Case used small dots on the tang to mark the exact year a knife was made, a code serious buyers can read like a birth certificate. A rare pattern, a nice handle, and the right dots can push one Case knife past $4,000 at auction. Most people see Case, assume it's common, and price it low. The dots are the whole story. Almost nobody checks them before selling. That's 10 names, but the names were never really the point. The point is what you do in the pause right before you decide any of them are worthless. So here's how to protect whatever you find. First, and this matters most, do not clean it. That instinct feels responsible. It feels like you're taking care of something, but a knife that's been scrubbed or oiled before it's checked has lost the exact marks that prove what it is. That damage can't be undone. If you've already cleaned something like this, there's no fixing that now. The only thing you can control going forward is the pause before you touch the next one. Don't trust asking prices on marketplace listings either. Asking price is just a hope. Sold price is the real number. Search sold listings instead. And before you sell to the first person who offers cash on the spot, take a clear photo of the tang stamp. Ask a real collector, not a pawn shop, what they see. The people making money off your uncertainty are counting on you never taking that extra look. Subscribe if you want to be inside this world instead of outside it. The resellers already are. That gap closes every time someone learns what to check before they sell. So tonight, go find that box. The one behind the paint cans, the one taped shut since the funeral, the one you've been putting off for months. Open it slower than you normally would. Pick up every knife instead of glancing past it, because a stamp you can't read from 3 feet away might be sitting right there under a little dirt. Check each one against what you just heard before a single one goes in a pile headed for the trash. That shoebox in Vermont didn't lose its value sitting on that shelf for 3 months. It didn't lose its value from all those hands that picked it up and set it back down. It lost its value every single time someone looked at it for less than 4 seconds. That gap closes the moment you actually stop and look. Tell me in the comments which name on this list you already own, and be honest about whether you almost threw it away before tonight. The next video breaks down exactly how to read those factory stamps and dot codes so you can date what you find down to the year, not just the decade. Don't sell what you find tonight, hold on to it. Wrap it up, put it somewhere safe, and let it become worth even more while you figure out exactly what you have.